you know, Deion, what Deion is doing right now, let's talk about this just for a second, is we are witnessing something that is not only game-changing in the face of college football, but also something that's very special. And what that special thing is passion mixed with love, mixed with disruption, mixed with swagger, mixed with confidence. But also there's an undercurrent here that Coach Prime is doing, is he's changing the face of college football, and he's doing it his way, but he's also doing it in a way that, and this is the hard part, that is galvanizing not only a town in Boulder, Colorado, but also galvanizing an entire country.
Yeah.
Wow. You gonna make me cry, man. You're all trying to make me cry. All recruits, did you hear? We ain't hard to find.
That's right.
This video right here is about giving grace and giving people an opportunity to fulfill their God's work. Because you don't know what God calls nobody to do. You know, we all called to do something different, and it might look different to everybody, and it might not look like you want it to look. But God calls each individual to do something that he wants them to do. So first I want to say congratulations to Deion Sanders and the whole Colorado team for what they've done. You know, I was one of those people who wasn't too happy when he left the HBCU. And I was like, you know, what he was doing over there was amazing. And he had the opportunity to shift the HBCUs, and he had the opportunity to give, you know, this black schools and the black legacy. And he was bringing that energy back, and we were on the HBCU wave. And it felt like to me that he was leaving prematurely. Felt like to me he didn't accomplish the mission that he was supposed to accomplish. But as I sit back, I say I was wrong as a man, because his mission that he had to accomplish wasn't the mission that I thought he had to accomplish. And it never was. It was his mission for God. It was what God called him to do. And as I watched that game yesterday, and I watched how he loved up on them young kings, and I watched up how those boys rose to the occasion, I watched how the whole world was paying attention to what Deion was doing, I knew that he was doing God's work. You know, and I knew he was ordained to do this work in a manner that he was doing. It wasn't how we thought it would look, but he was doing this work the way he was supposed to do it. And I say that to say, brothers, let's give our brothers and sisters levels of grace, right? Especially those who have never did us wrong, right? Especially those who have always had our best interests in hand. They might not do everything the way you want them to do it. They might not say everything where you want them to say it. It might not look the way you think it should look. But when a person is ordained by God to do something, you got to let him do his work that God sent him to do. And Deion is doing his work that God sent him to do. And you're probably doing your work that God sent him to do. And I'm doing my work that God sent him to do. And it looks different to different people. So we can't ostracize and disrespect and criticize our brothers and sisters for doing God's work the way that he sent them to do it. It don't look like we want it to look, because we didn't send him to do that work. You know, and that was a lesson for me as I watched Deion, and I was mad when he left the HBCU. And now I watch how this man elevated his platform and elevated them young kings on a world stage. He's changing the face and the reality of football in general. He's letting you know what black people are capable of. You give us the same opportunities, the same spaces, the same visuals, the same platforms, that we will excel. He did something that God told him to do it in. I didn't understand it at the time. A lot of us didn't understand it at the time. But God's work is not for everybody to understand. It's for him to understand. So I want to say, brothers and sisters, give each other grace. Especially when you're talking about individuals who've always been righteous, who've always done it properly. They might make a move you don't understand. They might have an ideology you might not agree with, but you got to judge that individual in totality and give him the grace, the opportunity, and the space for him to do God's work.